Good evening, Americans, and welcome to The Ed Show, live from the North Country, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Let's get to work.
Because Congress didn't act, more than 1 million of their constituents will lose a vital economic lifeline at Christmas time.
1797, a bill to provide for the extension of certain unemployment benefits.
The clock is ticking. People got bills to pay.
Extended federal unemployment insurance benefits help these families pay for their rent, pay for their food, and pay for their electricity.
Talk about hurting folks during the holidays.
You don't look like yourself, Jack.
It's the holiday season. Why do we have to have ice in our veins?
All in favor of suspending Jack Frost?
We can become a society where the net majority of Americans are takers, not makers.
Broken promises, double standards, and raw power.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
Merry Christmas!
I think 2014 needs to be a year of action.
Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Republicans have thrown unemployed Americans under the bus, and Democrats are fighting back in a big way, as they said they were going to do. Earlier today, President Obama came out and made a passionate case for an unemployment extension.
Because Congress didn't act, more than 1 million of their constituents will lose a vital economic lifeline at Christmas time, leaving a lot of job seekers without any source of income at all. I think we're a better country than that. We don't abandon each other when times are tough. Keep in mind, unemployment insurance only goes to folks who are actively looking for work. A mom who needs help feeding her kids when she sends out her resumes, or a dad who needs help paying the rent while working part-time and still earning the skills he needs for that new job. So when Congress comes back to work, their first order of business should be making this right. I know a bipartisan group is working on a 3-month extension of this insurance. They should pass it, and I'll sign it right away.
You agree with the president? He says that we are a better country than that. Well, we're going to find out. Republicans, you heard the president, send him an extension, and he's going to sign it. The burden is on the Republican Party to pass an unemployment extension. Democrats on board, not a problem. 1.23 million Americans are still on track to lose their unemployment insurance on December 28th. There is some good news, my friends. The Washington Post is reporting Democrats are planning a 2-step Christmas media offensive to extend unemployment insurance. This is their focus. Democrats want to publicly pressure Republicans to do the right thing and help the unemployed in this country. Senate Democrats are already speaking out.
For many of these people, unemployment benefits are their only source of income. It may mean the difference of whether they're homeless or have a place to live.
The extension of unemployment benefits will be the next test in the fight between the hard right and the mainstream conservatives in the Republican Party.
I am very, very pleased, happy, and proud of my colleague, Senator Heller, who joined with Senator Reid of Rhode Island to introduce a 3-month extension of unemployment insurance. I hope we can get cooperation to set up vote before we leave. But if not, we're going to vote no later than January 6th or 7th.
The question is, how much can the economy grow in the next 3 months? Well, if you look at the last year where we've added 2 million jobs, 3 months, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be coming off unemployment if we continue to help them out right now, because they're going to be able to continue to look for jobs. Harry Reid's vote on an unemployment extension will likely take place the first week of January, and it should. Democrats know that they got a bad deal in this. They're trying to fix it. It's the best they can do. This is why liberal groups are planning a TV ad blitz starting the day after Christmas. This is what you're going to see. Groups like Americans United for Change and a number of unions, including AFSCME and the UAW, are backing this entire movement. The ads will run on national cable shows and hit Republicans hard for letting benefits expire for over 1 million Americans. Now, House Democrats are also planning a big push in the local media. Democrats are planning to use local news coverage to highlight the damaging effects of this unemployment situation that these folks are in. They want to tell stories, just like we have been doing quite a bit on this program, on how residents in Republican districts are going to be impacted by these cuts. I mean, this isn't just exclusive to some districts. It's everywhere. And the Republicans need to own up and help fix this economy instead of patching it up. And this is a patch job. Instead of passing a jobs bill to get people jobs, this is the conversation we're having right now. And it's the Republicans' fault. They've done nothing on a jobs package. Here's what Democrats want to do. Democrats want local headlines like this that hurt Republicans right where it counts. Here's one out of Poughkeepsie, New York. Unemployment benefits due to expire for thousands in New York. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, a headline reads, cutting benefits for Christmas. And in Wasilla, California, one reads, crisis remains. Jobless benefit still vital. The idea is to get similar news coverage in every small market in the country. This is going to be the conversation. Where do you stand? They hope to pressure Republicans into an easy vote. Just a vote. Just give us the vote, Mr. Boehner, in the Congress in early January. You can't call this a dog and pony show. This is real stuff. Democrats really want to get this done. This is what was excluded out of the budget bill. And the Republicans know that the Democrats have been honest brokers and come to the table and given them things that they want. Tax loopholes have not been closed. Taxes did not go up. There will not be a shutdown. And there are more reasons to slam the Republicans on not extending unemployment. A new report from the Congressional Budget Office shows letting benefits expire could cost 300,000 jobs nationwide. That's a step backwards, folks. And economists believe that the economic growth will be 4% lower next year because of the cuts. Do you want that? Do you want that? Do you think that's the right thing to do? Now, these are the numbers. That's not even talking about the moral component. Passing an unemployment extension should be an absolute no-brainer. It helps over 1 million people and our economy, plus the American people. I know we don't count very often, but for the record, we do want to see this thing get done. A new Pew poll shows Americans favor keeping current aid to the poor over deficit reduction by 59% to 33%. These numbers, along with the Democratic media offensive, put Republicans, I think, in a pretty tough spot. This has to be the conversation. This will be under serious pressure. There's going to be some serious pressure that's going to be put on the Republicans in their districts to extend this in the beginning of January. And if they don't do it, it's just going to be more material for the president in the State of the Union address to draw the focus on the heartlessness of the Republicans. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: are Republicans using the unemployed as a political pawn? Text A for yes, text B for no to 67622. You can always go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com. And on that blog, I would like someone from the conservative side to post on that blog, what have the Republicans done for the economy? I must be missing it. Let's see. A year ago this time, we were having this conversation about the Bush tax cuts. Can't raise taxes on the job creators. That's what we kept hearing. This was after President Obama won re-election. And in December, there were Republicans running around saying, this is a job killer. Obamacare's a job killer. If we let the Bush tax cuts expire, it's going to hurt the economy. I mean, how many sound bites do you want us to pull out, folks? That's what all of them were saying. From Cornyn, the whole bunch, the most critical of the president. Guess what? We've added 2 million jobs. We've got unemployment down to 7%. The housing market is coming back. Strongest November we've had since 1990. The automobile industry has turned around. Go to your local car dealer and ask them if the economy's pretty good. So put on our blog, ed.msnbc.com. Tell us, conservatives, I must be missing the story. What have the Republicans done to help this economy? I'll blog tonight and say not a damn thing. For more, let me bring in Congressman Tim Ryan from Ohio. Congressman, great to have you with us tonight. Congressman, if this extension fails in early January and you can't get it to the House floor, the Senate does its job, how long is this campaign going to go on, Tim?
Well, hopefully you just keep turning up the heat, you keep squeezing. Both on economic grounds, but some local examples here. We've got a company called Rotec. They do gear manufacturing for windmills, a cutting-edge new industry. 180 workers locked out that will lose their unemployments in a few days in Northeast Ohio, up in Aurora. We have a steel mill that closed down many months ago. A lot of those workers, 200 to 300, going to lose their unemployment insurance benefits. So a lot of people like to say, well, these people aren't looking for work. You take Rotec, for example. They were literally locked out. They didn't go on strike. They didn't quit. They didn't stop working. They got locked out, and they're going to be punished for this. And so I hope we keep the heat up. Those are all steel workers. So I know the steel workers and others will just keep ratcheting up the heat, because there are still millions and millions of families that have not been able to grab that last rung of the ladder of this economic recovery.
So, Congressman, how much political capital are the Democrats willing to spend on this fight? And how would you define political capital? I mean, this is going to take time, it's going to take focus, and it might not happen. How do you see this playing out?
Well, here's what I think. I think the Senate, obviously, it was good to hear Harry Reid take a strong leadership role. It's obviously harder in the House because we don't have control of the, legislative levers to bring pieces to the floor necessarily. But Harry Reid can do it, and we can ratchet up pressure. And 2014 is, in the midterm elections, are all about turning out your base. And if we can get the unions energized, if we can get people who are concerned about this and are more focused on demand-side economics instead of this trickle-down voodoo economics that we've been seeing in America for the last 30 years, get our base riled up, we could be able to affect. These people in the companies that I was mentioning earlier, Rotec, RG Steel, $430 a week, Ed. That's what they're getting. They got a couple of kids. They've got health problems. $430 a month, when Warren Buffett is made in 2013 $37 million a day. Now, I love Warren Buffett, and I'm not against him making a lot of money. But what I'm saying is there's a huge disparity in America when we don't have the wherewithal to say, hey, these people should get $430 a month to be able to make ends meet when they're looking for work or they've gotten locked out of their job, while Warren Buffett's making $37 million a day. Something's wrong with that picture. So the unions, I'm proud of them for stepping up and making this an issue.
Congressman, the president held his year-end press conference today before he took off on holiday vacation to Hawaii. And this was one of the questions that caught my attention. I want to play this. Here it is.
Has this been the worst year of your presidency?
What I've been focused on each and every day is, are we moving the ball in helping the American people, families, have more opportunity, have a little more security, to feel as if they work hard, they can get ahead.
Mr. President, let me answer that question for you. First of all, where is the mindset of the media in Washington when they ask a question, is this the worst year of your presidency? Are they asleep at the switch? How the heck are you going to get unemployment benefits focused on when you've got an attitude like that in the mainstream media? Just for the record, for that AP reporter, 2 million jobs. We let the Bush tax cuts expire. We've had private sector job growth every month since. We have returned the automobile industry to a very vibrant situation. We've got health care in this country where people are signing up. We've got the housing market, which is doing very well. We didn't raise taxes. Look at the stock market. Are you paying any attention? It's having record closes day after day. Congressman, my question to you, how are you supposed to get anything done in an environment when you got reporters sitting in front of the president asking him if this is the worst year he's ever had when it's been nothing but a year of accomplishments?
Yeah, well, and reporters are supposed to have some sense of history. Where were they in 2009, 2010 when we were getting battered, losing 700,000 jobs a month, just trying to plug holes in the economy? We weren't sure what was going on in districts back in Youngstown. We thought General Motors was going to potentially go under, and we have a huge General Motors plant here all throughout the industrial Midwest. We thought we were going to lose the auto industry, the supply chain. We had foreign car companies coming to then Governor Strickland saying, we need to help the American car companies because we'll lose our supply chain. I mean, I asked, where were these reporters when that was going on? We've had some hiccups this year, but my goodness gracious, we've certainly turned the corner, and that's part of the problem, Ed. How do you get the message out? How do you rally the American people today when you have such a decentralized media?
Well, I think that we've had some good things happen. We're down to 7% unemployment. Now, a lot of people like to argue with that because they think that the numbers are higher than that, double digit and whatnot. We've got income inequality. You show the graphs. We show the graphs all the time. Bottom line here is that people understand the economy and they understand hurt. And those who were unemployed, who now have a job, as that unemployment rate has come down, they understand a 3-month extension. Let's see if Congress does. Before we leave this interview tonight, I want to show this picture. Here he is, the young quarterback from Youngstown State, Tim Ryan. There it is. As Howard Cosell said, this man was extraordinary. He is destined to help the country. Congressman Tim Ryan, you have a great holiday. You have a great holiday.
A lot's
great to have you with us
between then
tonight.
and
Thanks
now,
so
Ed.
much. All right. See you, buddy. Thanks a lot. Remember to answer tonight's question there at the bottom of the screen. Share your thoughts with us on Twitter at Ed Show and on Facebook. We want to know what you think. Up next, who would you put your money on in a fight between Ted Cruz and Vladimir Putin? The Baxter is selling a delusional storyline on this one. Plus, cheap talk from Republicans on minimum wage. Stay with us. We're right back.